John from theproductivegarden.com, and I'm here with another update from the balcony garden. Yeah, it's been 4 weeks now since I've planted most of the things out in the balcony garden. A few things have been planted more recently, and there actually are a few possibilities of harvest. So perhaps pretty soon we'll have to start using some of the veggies in the balcony garden. So you can see pretty easily, once you plant a garden, even in pots, you can get a harvest within 4 weeks of planting them. So let's have a look at what's going on. Start with the herbs, and you can see oregano. We could easily harvest a little bit of that. The thyme is doing great. It's probably time to cut some of that thyme off, just to keep it going. You see, it's also going to flower, so that's good. Parsley is doing great. We could easily harvest some parsley, coriander as well. So we might have to start harvesting some of these herbs just so they don't bolt to seed. So they're going really well. Pretty happy with them. Okay, our basil. It's probably not a bad idea to top a few of them as well, just to get them to bush out a bit. So we could easily harvest a bit of basil. The cherry tomatoes are doing pretty well. They're starting to get a few little flowers on them. See, that one there's got a flower on it, so we'll see hopefully soon. I'll have to start getting some sort of support around these guys soon. Might develop some tomatoes in the next month or so, so that'll be pretty good. So at least have them start developing anyway. I don't think they'll be ripe in the next month. Might be a little bit longer before we get some ripe ones off them. So they're going alright, the cherry tomatoes. Capsicum's going pretty well. It's going to probably be a little while yet before we get flowers off that. It's got some growing to do. Our potato. Nothing has developed of that yet. We should get some shoots up soon. I've got some other potatoes that I planted at the same time as these, and they've actually shot up. So these I'm expecting to shoot up pretty soon. I'll get some shoots coming through the ground, so they should do alright. The Roma tomato, it's got flowers on it as well, and the basil here is doing pretty well also, so that's looking pretty good. So again, I'm going to have to get a support going for them, and hopefully in the next month or so we should get some tomatoes really start developing. And to the lime, got flowers on it still. You see flowers there in the shadow. Yeah, so that's going pretty well. There's also some new growth on it, this new growth here, so it seems to be like being in the pot that we've got it in now. It's getting a lot more water and a lot more sun, so it's going pretty well. Alright, to the beans. The beans are going pretty well. Again, we're going to have to get a support organised for them as well. Probably some sort of wire cage is what I'm thinking of. So they're starting to shoot up, so hopefully that won't be very long. I'd say within a month we should be getting beans from those things, so that's pretty good. The ginger and galangal, I've just sort of had a bit of a rifling through the mulch, and nothing's come out through the ground yet. Don't really expect anything this soon because it is a bit cool yet still. We've actually had tonight, or when we got up this morning, it was 3.5 degrees Celsius, and apparently we'd had snow overnight early this morning, but we didn't get to see that. Apparently we had reports of snow falling in Hilltop at 6 o'clock this morning, so it was very cold this morning. Got asparagus, that's still going pretty well, seems to have planted in all right there. The addition for this week is some chives. I was thinking, well, we haven't got any onions planted. I thought for a potted garden too, onions take a long time. You've got 6 months for onions from the time you sort of plant them till you get onions out of them, so I thought probably not really for a balcony garden, but onion chives. At least if you're cooking and you got want some onion taste in something, there's another herb that's really useful. And one thing to remember, this is getting flowers on it, and this is actually some chives that I already had in a pot, but they really needed to be potted up, and I thought, perfect, balcony garden, these will do just fine. And one thing to remember too is the flowers on these, they are also edible, and they have a nice onion flavour, so you can actually add those to your cooking, no problem at all. So no need to cut the flowers and get rid of them. Cut them off, use them in your cooking as well. Alright, the blueberries, they've got flowers coming on them. I might let them go with their flowers, so we'll get a few blueberries off that. That's doing pretty well, it seems to be liking it here. One of the eggplants, that's doing pretty well. It's got some new leaves coming off it, so it's growing up. Hopefully soon, when the weather warms up a bit more, the eggplants and the capsicum should start growing a lot faster. Okay, we've got the cucumber here. They're going pretty well. Again, when the weather warms up a bit, they should go a whole lot better. So, and I'll need to do a support for them as well. I'm not sure if I'll do a trellis or some sort of wire cage for these guys as well, but I'll figure that out a little bit later on. Alright, eggplant. That's another eggplant. It's going pretty well as also. No different to the other eggplant really, but it's going well. The carrots are doing well. Plenty of carrots coming up. I'm going to have to think about thinning some of these out pretty soon. I'll do that a little bit later on. This lettuce, these ones just aren't growing real fast at all. I can't figure out why. Maybe they just needed a little bit warmer. They're a different kind of lettuce to what I've got in the other pot. So maybe they just want a little bit warmer. So we'll see how these go. They're not doing too bad. They're not dying or anything. They're just not growing particularly fast. Got the other capsicum here with the pansies. It's going all right. So yeah, it's developing leaves in the middle pretty well. So it's not doing too bad. This lettuce here is doing great. So we've got this red coral lettuce here. We've got lettuce that we can harvest from that straight away. We could do that now. It's just interesting to note that this green lettuce here and this red lettuce here are the same as are in this pot, and they've grown a lot faster in this terracotta pot. So the soil should be the same. It's come from the same source. Shouldn't be any difference there. They've got the same mulch. They've been getting the same watering, but I just wonder whether there's something different in terms of being planted in terracotta compared to plastic. So that's something interesting to note there. The difference in what you've planted them in. If you look at them, the diameter of the terracotta pot's a little bit bigger than the plastic pot, but not terribly big. I mean, the plastic pots are deeper, so they've got more depth to grow into, but the terracotta pot's a little bit wider. So I don't really see that one should have that much advantage over the other, but maybe it's the type of pot that they're in. Okay, we've still got one empty pot here ready to go. So I think I've said before that I'm waiting for goji berries to be available in my area, and I'll put some goji berries in there. So that should be interesting to see how they go. And lastly, the strawberries. The one on the top isn't really getting any flowers yet, although there might be some. That leaf won't get in the way. Some developing in the middle there. So that's growing slowly. It's doing all right. This one here's got heaps of flowers on it. Hopefully that'll be a strawberry very soon. The next one. Right, so hopefully that'll be a strawberry soon enough. Plenty of flowers there. Alright, that one there. Also getting a few flowers on it, so that's all good. And the last one over here, it looks like it's starting to get some flowers just there as well. So that's all pretty good. They're going pretty well. Yeah, so I'm pretty happy with how the balcony garden's gone so far. Like I said, 4 weeks, and I mean, we could have even harvested some herbs 2 weeks ago, certainly a week ago we could have. We've got lettuce that we can use already, and herbs, so that's pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. And even with the lime tree, if you wanted to add a lime flavour to something that you're cooking, you can even use the leaves off that, sort of like you use the kaffir lime, because you'll find that most citrus plants, the leaves will have the same flavour as the fruit that they bear. So you can use lime leaves to add a bit of a lime citrusy flavour to the stuff that you're cooking. So that's something to bear in mind as well. There's an extra production that you can get there. Of course, you don't want to take too many leaves off the plant, because they do need the leaves to photosynthesize. So you'd want to leave a few leaves there so that the plant can keep growing. Anyway, that's it for this week's update, and we'll see you with another update from the balcony garden in a week's time. And until next time, happy productive gardening. Bye.